Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody.
To Is That Your Kid podcast, Volume 2, Episode 1, making this Episode 21. I am Todd the Bod Tondera, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Jake, the Angel Boy, Birdman Jr., Dehydrated Martian. The Dehydrated Martian.
That's new.
Zerme.
I am feeling dehydrated, but I'm feeling great.
So dehydrated. But he
Back. I thought we were calling it Chapter 2. You went with Volume 2.
Yeah, I went volume.
I like it just as much.
I said it, we run with it.
Too late.
Too late now, but this is episode 21. We are nerds from Western Pennsylvania, and we host a variety show struggling to cope with one another's personality flaws.
Straight off the dome. We don't need pen and paper.
We don't need pen and paper anymore.
All you other guys, man, you're just big fakers.
You guys are fakers in the podcast world. Who needs pen and paper?
I wasn't attacking the podcast world. Just anyone.
Oh, anyone. Actually, anyone out there. If you need pen and paper to write down anything.
You're faking.
You needed school for that education. We just take it right off the top of our dome. So we are coming in hot. We are coming in like hot coals in an old-fashioned oven cooking an old-fashioned pizza. That's how hot we are.
I thought you were going with old-fashioned meal.
Like we are the old-fashioned meal.
We're the chain gang janglers.
The original chain gang janglers, Jake and Todd here, hosting Is That Your Kid podcast. This has already went swimmingly well. We are here with the second pilot, so we are starting Volume 2. So for you new listeners, you don't have to worry about those past 20 episodes because we are going to bury those 20 episodes with what we have planned for Volume 2. We have new segments lined up, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of awkward stuff, and a lot of audio stuff. It's a lot of ideas, but for those of you who don't know us, and this is our first episode, we wanted to redo the first pilot, because if you remember the first pilot, I have been waiting weeks to redo that episode, because I sound like an absolute idiot in that one.
Do you feel like you're more high energy in this one? In this pilot part 2?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit more high energy. Yeah, number one. I feel like we've done 20 episodes, and I feel like there's episodes that were really good, episodes that were really bad, episodes that were in the middle. So I know that going forward, where the bar is set.
Going up and up and up.
So all you kids out there in the ITYK universe, we are coming back 20 more episodes, Volume 2. So how you doing over there, Jake?
Great. I was just thinking, because of our Reminisce episode.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, I was just thinking how it's almost become a weird tradition.
Yes.
That we botch the first 2 minutes of some episodes.
Yeah.
That actually turn out to be really good ones, or at least really fun to do.
Yeah.
And either you or I just completely fall over our tongues and can't say a damn thing right.
I don't think we've done that so far.
But I'm sure everyone will be critically listening now.
Critically, they're waiting
They're like,
in anticipation for the first botch. No botches here, because even if we botch this volume, we're just going to move right on past it. We've done
that anyway.
We've done that anyway.
Special shout out to Karen. Thanks for helping us out on the last episode.
Miss Karen, we do apologize for our behavior. I was quite aggressive with her.
Yeah, that could be true.
We are nerds from Western Pennsylvania. We host a variety show struggling to cope with one another's personality flaws. Jake and I have been at this. When did we record our first episode?
I don't know. 23 weeks ago.
Whenever 22 or 23 weeks ago was, that's when we started.
March-ish.
And March-ish, I think, is fair. And what we did on that episode is to kind of introduce you to who we are. So we want to reintroduce you to who we are, as I am terrible with first impressions, and it takes you about 3.5 weeks to actually like me in real life. So that's how long it took. I'm sure our listeners to listen as well.
Oh,
because it was the Jake show for the first 3.5 weeks. But I'll say this.
What's that mean? Whoa, back up.
Okay.
Pump the brakes. What's that mean?
Well, I'm just saying, in those first episodes, you carried it. You carried the whole thing in the first.
Jeez.
That
just means that I didn't carry the last 17.
Well, you didn't need to carry them.
Oh, jeez.
Is
man.
what I was saying. You if in the first couple episodes, if you weren't on the podcast, I'm pretty sure no one would have listened. Not even. I mean, I don't listen to him as
vice versa. It takes 3.5 weeks for people not to like me because I run out of all my gimmicks. It's like, oh, he's doing that same Jake thing again. I've heard this before in a different way. So I guess we're backwards.
We're backwards. So it takes 3.5 weeks to like me, and it takes 3.5 weeks to hate you.
But you know what? In those 3.5 weeks where people start to like you and stop to like me, man, that middle ground, woo! Upper echelon, baby. Woo, we were soaring.
That middle 2 weeks, that like
yeah.
2.5 weeks, people are like, who are these cats? I love them.
Man, they must be friends with Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. We aren't,
That's how
though.
Great.
But maybe we will be one day.
Give it another 2.5 weeks.
If we were friends with Jimmy Fallon, it would be on that 2.5 week scale. So Jimmy Fallon, if you're listening, in about 2.5 weeks, you will love this podcast, my friend.
Give us a ring.
Mm-hmm. So I think I introduced myself first last time, right?
Yeah.
And then you blew it out of the water. So I'm going to try to reintroduce myself first.
Don't forget to say that you like soup.
I will write that in the notes. Click, 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 click.
Don't forget that you like concerts.
Okay, concerts. Just tell me who I am, and then I'll tell you. I am what you think I am.
Is this an Eminem rap?
You know, Eminem apologized for his raps.
Oh.
For art's sake, I don't think he ever should have apologized.
Yeah,
but
for the sake of it.
But for as a person to person, he should apologize a long time ago for the stuff he said.
Me being in fourth grade, listening to that first album, that was a lot. That was heavy as a 10-year-old. I'm like, this stuff's weird, man.
Like killing your girlfriend or wife and putting her in the trunk and kidnapping your own kid.
That's weird. Did his daughter just graduate high school? Something
really?
Crazy like that? Haley, right?
Haley.
She's real
Mathers. Old. Haley Mathers.
It sounds like a Simpsons character.
Haley Mathers. Or is it Mather? I don't know. Yeah, Marshall Mathers.
Marshall Mathers. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What was that tune that? Dang, what was it? When I was just a little baby boy, my mama used to tell me these crazy things. She used to tell me my daddy was an evil man. She used to tell me he hated me. And after I got a little bit older, realized she was a crazy one. Something, 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 and that's just the way she was. And it was just like, they say I can't rap about being broke no more. They say I can't rap about coke no more. Swear word. Explicit.
Purple ribbon.
Get in the trunk. Get in the trunk. I want to cut you up and.
We should apologize.
We apologize for mine. We apologize for that.
For the sake of art, we won't apologize for the first 20 episodes.
We won't. We will never apologize for the sake of art. But we will, as people, apologize individually for our
actions. All right, and that's about all the time that we have for Todd's intro. So on to me.
That's who I am.
You chose to spend your time rapping Marshall Mathers.
So just
I'm gonna go on.
The first pilot, no one knows who I am.
I'm gonna go on. No, I'm kidding. Go for it.
Okay, me describing myself. Here it is. My interests. Let's talk about interests first. I enjoy wrestling, live music, comics, soup, football, photography, and I work professionally in college admissions, and I've probably done that for the better part of 6-7 years, believe it or not. Yeah. So I'm the one that you talk to about going to school, and I've helped many students along the way, and I've also
hindered many students.
No. And made the process a lot slower for people than it needed to be.
So you're 26?
I'm 26 years old.
Okay, he wears glasses.
I've worn glasses for over a year. I've had
that's over a year.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a false statement, but
no.
You're certainly undershooting it.
Well, I've had bad eyes my whole life, Is that what you want? Is that what you want me to say?
Yeah, tell everyone how bad your eyes are.
My eyes are the worst set of eyes that anyone has ever seen out of, unless they just can't see at all, because obviously those are a little worse. There was a time where I wore women's jewelry. I'm over that. But
that's something I even didn't know, so that's new. That's new for everybody.
That's new for even throwback friends, right?
Yeah.
I've been interested in photography since actually the 8th grade. One of my best friends, who I don't talk to anymore, really, got me involved in because he did web design. He was a musician, and he did photography, and he kind of got me involved with it. I pursued it. I went to college for it, obtained an associate in photography. I don't do it full-time much anymore, to be honest with you, just because I'd rather do it for fun, because it's something that I find fun, and as soon as you make it, like, real serious, I'm not into it. I'm not into photographing people all that much. I like more so buildings, mixed media pieces, putting stuff together like that, so, like, you know, weddings and stuff like that is not my forte, so I never really followed up in it. So I've been working in college admissions. I've been actually going to concerts since I was probably 14 years old. I'm not a musician myself, ... until today, but that's something, let's leave that hang there. But, so yeah, I've been going to concerts since I was about 14 years old. From a young age, I always liked live music and getting involved in local scenes and everything like that. Now, I wouldn't say that I'm that involved in any kind of local scene, but I still like to support Pittsburgh bands in different venues. And I've seen a lot of bands, been to a lot of concerts. Wrestling, something that's even before that. I've watched wrestling since I was probably about 5-6 years old, and it was always something I kind of did just because I really dug it for whatever reason. I just really took to it when I was younger, and I would just like watch it for hours and hours and hours, and I would like live in that world for whatever reason, because I was always a person that was uncomfortable in their own skin. So like if there's any I feel, and you know, people say that's like escapism if you're into something and you want to live there. But to me, it's kind of the opposite. Like, me as a person, I feel uncomfortable in this world. Like, this is me just being uncomfortable. But when I get involved in stuff like that, I'm like, this is the world I feel comfortable in. Read a lot of comics. Favorite characters would be like Swamp Thing, Constantine, Batman, of course. Only in the past couple years, but Wonder Woman, just because there's a great Wonder Woman run going on, in the sense that I took to her kind of during this run. Like, I've looked back to different Wonder Woman's runs and appreciated those. Novels too, but like Bukowski's always been my favorite in that aspect. Sylvia Plath. But that's about it. Do you think that's a lot better intro than...
I think that was great.
Okay.
Maybe I would say I know you better.
Yeah, maybe. But I always say, like, people have probably a better accurate description of you than you. At least that's how I feel with me, because I don't feel like I'm very good with words. So it's just like, half the shit I probably said doesn't make any sense or accurate at all.
I would say the same thing, and we're in the wrong business in terms of audio stuff. Mm-hmm. I'll say some things that people just don't get it.
So who are you, Jake? Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm Jake. I'm 24. Professionally, I'm a music teacher. I teach some music lessons on the side privately. So music's a big part of my life. I like how all of our friends are artistic in one way or another.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Photography, art, acting, music, and that kind of all blend into one. So I dig that about our friend group.
Episode 15, the friend group. Download
in terms of music, my most recent love has been bluegrass. Past 3 years, I've gotten into it. I like how fast it is. I like how you're hanging on barely, just because it sometimes gets pretty fast. But it's fun. I like a variety of rock assortments. I don't know what kind of rock you would say I like, but
alternative rock I think is fair.
I guess. But all sorts. And I like to play jazz. I like to listen to jazz as well, but playing it is one of those things where playing it is just definitely more fun. than listening to it in some facets. In terms of the classical world, Debussy, Chopin. Everyone likes Chopin now. Holst. All those guys. And the thing is with music, I like different music for different seasons.
Yeah.
Which I think is a weird thing. But I don't know if other people feel that way or
realize. Summer Jake's a lot different than fall Jake.
Yeah. I like a lot. I listen to different styles of music on like a turn. So like one season, like for instance, maybe like really kind of artsy, more rock in the fall. I dig that. Like stuff you would listen to with headphones in.
Yeah.
That's cool for me. Bluegrass gets me through the winters because it's just fun. And gets the chill out of your bones. I dig that. And I do listen to a lot of instrumental classical sort of stuff in the spring. So, yeah, it's pretty weird.
Teacher?
Yeah. So, yeah, I do that. At the end of our segments, actually, the Is That Your Kid tag was recorded by a few of my preschool students. They're going to be in kindergarten this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, moving up in the world.
Are you still going to be teaching your those students?
Yeah, hopefully. If they still return to the said same school.
So when you hear Is That Your Kid and there's kids yelling at the end of the episode, that's how we end all episodes, that's Jake's students.
Yeah, pretty neat. Hopefully we'll get more of that. I think we should get more of that kind of stuff. I don't know how. If you've got an idea, listeners.
Illegally's fine. Just let us know. isthatyourkid@yahoo.com. If you know how to illegally get any sort of weird sound clips, isthatyourkid@yahoo.com.
I mean, for me to get like I don't know. Anyway.
Any good ideas for Jake to get illegal sound clips?
But about me, I don't. Pretty laid back about some things and pretty weird about some other things. But I guess anyone is. I like to bicycle or ride a bicycle. I love Frisbee. Pardon me, I think I'm part dog. Oh, I like dogs.
You're part... You just skipped over part dog. I'm part dog. I like dogs. I'm part dog.
Well, I like Frisbee so much, I like running and chasing it just as much as I like throwing it.
Okay. It's a part dog.
It's a part dog. Yeah, we'll just run with that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I have mild to moderate Tourette's.
Dude, you gotta let me tell that how I said about those noises.
And here's the thing, I don't even know that I do this, but every once in a while, if you hang out with me, you're gonna hear some loud claps that you weren't expecting. You're gonna hear some taps, you're gonna hear some taps on the table. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how. I don't know why. I make whoops and crazy noises. I don't realize that I'm doing it. It's just I don't do it on purpose.
Gets excited.
I guess so. So maybe mild Tourette's.
This was just a couple weeks ago, and Jake has always been. A noise will just pop out, or some banging, and you're just like, "What are you doing?" And it's nothing. And a couple weeks ago, I was with Jake and his family, and we were actually editing episode 20. We made a clip show for the end of volume 1, and
we're just going through all the episodes,
and we were taking a break, and we were all in his kitchen. So there was his mom, his dad, his grandmother, and his grandfather. And it's not that it's a small kitchen, but it's a small walking space between the table and the stove. And they were eating dinner, and they were very nice. Jake's family is always very nice to me. And we were eating dinner, and I think we were eating like sausage or whatever. And Jake just starts making he's just like, and I'm just like, what? That is so loud. This room is too small to be making those noises in. And his family did not skip a beat. They kept conversation. They kept it, whatever they're doing, they were kept in stride. And they did not even react to it. They're just and I was just
So what does that mean to you?
It just meant to me.
The fact that they didn't phase.
That they, it's one of those things that it's just like white noise. Sure, he does that. And I'm used to it at this point. It's not that I'm not used to it. I just thought that it was when you're in a good mood, when you're around your friends, you start doing that. I had never known that you just do it at home. You just do it at home.
It might be because I'm also in a good mood. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, but I think, because you don't really do that when you're not having a good time.
Yeah.
You're not bad day. Nope. I've never heard that. So it's just we were just getting ready, and that makes me know that deep down inside, The Zerme family is a very accepting family. And it's one of the best parts about Jake is these noises, but I just didn't know that, like, there was no filter at home. He just hams on the noises. But you could go on with your intro. See, I ruined your intro this time.
No, you didn't ruin it. It's fine. It needed to be said because it's part of me.
A well-educated young man.
I think that's it. Yeah, I went to school for music. I went to school out in Greensburg, the university I went to. Pretty cool. It's small. Maybe like 3,500 people tops attending. Very cool place. It wasn't far from home, but far enough to just get away. Met some interesting people along the way. And, one of which, Robert Kingpin Zanny.
Episode 19, Robert Zanny.
He came with us to Pizza Hut. He had a day off. He came from Ohio. Come visit us. Did we play Mixer Dicks? No, we played some Stallone games, though.
Yeah, we played some weird Stallone games. Sylvester Stallone. So that's kind of who we are. And again, you could subscribe on iTunes, Is That Your Kid? Is That Your Kid on Twitter. Is That Your Kid at yahoo.com. Send us emails, questions, comments, concerns, like Jay Zerm's concerns. And isthatyourkid.tumblr.com is our social media outlet. And also youtube.com/isthatyourkid. Our friend Sleazy E puts that together for us. So thanks for hitting that download button and subscribing to our podcast or listening to us on Podomatic. isthatyourkid.podomatic.com, which we consider our hub. That's isthatyourkid.podomatic.com. So we've got a full agenda today. I'm happy you're still listening to this podcast. Volume 2, Episode 1, making this Episode 21. So we have 20 episodes in the books. And so what we were going to do is we were going to ask each other some questions because we want you as listeners to know us a little better each week. So we're just going to ask some questions. Jake is rubbing his lips.
I'm trying to grow my mustache, and I'm just feeling it.
And that is something that we need to talk about, too, because I've been trying to grow a mustache for the past 2 weeks, and I saw you yesterday, and I saw you were trying to grow a mustache.
You can't see it from where you're sitting. It's kind of invisible.
Could you see mine?
Yeah.
Do you? I had a mustache.
But I see it. Mine grows in, but it's all blonde, so you can't, even if I did have it, it's blonde. But you can't see it.
Do we want to have a mustache off to see how long
Well, I'll tell you this. I started my mustache on Monday.
Oh, I started
Saturday.
Mine. Well, I really patchy facial hair, so I've been growing it for like 3 to 4 weeks, and then I just got rid of the bottom half.
Yeah, I'm only doing it basically for band camp. Oh, okay. I guess I should mention that.
Yeah, talk about
band camp's a thing that's happening right now. I'm the assistant director for a local marching band. It's a lot of fun. And when they come to you and they don't know anything, and you try to teach them the best you can, and if it seems like they have fun with it, and by the end of the year, you get judged and see how you did for the whole season. I think band camp's like 80 hours long, 2 40-hour weeks, 8 hours a day. Part of the reason I thought I was dehydrated last night because I was in the sun for upwards of 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then I went out to Mike's show, 2 shows, and so I drank a lot of water. I probably drank like a gallon and a half yesterday, but I guess it wasn't enough.
It's good that you're feeling better though.
I'm feeling better.
I was even worried about when you got here today. You would look a little
low energy.
Low energy.
No, I'm good.
But I was low energy too. I had a headache as well.
Brought it out. But yeah, I'm in a band as well. I do play the trumpet. That was the very first thing I started as a wee lad when I was in 3rd grade, 4th grade.
That's wee lad age.
And since then, I picked up piano. I went to music school, so I have to learn how to play all of them to some extent, up to a certain level. Because I'd eventually like to have my own band, my own like high school or middle school band. I think that's really cool. Get to hang out and have fun. They're taking music out of schools and art out of schools and things like that. But what they don't get is if you have electives like that, you don't have to hire people to just have study halls. It stacks. It stacks. It's such a crazy thing. I've seen like statistics. Yeah, it stacks because if you have people going to band and art, that's less people that you need to pay or less teachers that need to take up their time just for a study hall.
Right.
For kids that may or may not be doing studying or halling.
Like, if it wasn't for music and art, because that's what we kind of followed in our same aspect, where would we be? as people. I'm saying you and I, like...
I don't know, I'd still be working at Kmart, probably.
Yeah, I would probably still be working at Subway.
No, to be honest, I probably would have gone to, like, a ITYK or, like, a computer tech school. Because I dig that a lot, too. I just built my own computer, so I like that kind of stuff. But that's probably where I'd end up. I would be, like, a networking guy.
If I didn't go to the school that I went to, I don't think I would have went to school originally. Just because, like, I was not a great student. I've just never... School never clicked, but when I went to the school that I went to... And that's a whole nother story because I used to work there, but now it's shut down. I did really, really well. And I was a graduate speaker and stuff.
Yeah, you did. And I think that attributes to the community. You've always been a guy that likes to be a part of communities. Whether or not that they know you're part of it or not, you always dig being a part of something greater.
Accurate, yeah.
Which is cool, and we could reference that to a large number of things, but Oak Ridge, or your
Oak Ridge.
School.
Yeah, you could say it. That doesn't matter. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Your school had a cool community sense to it, even when I go. Oh, I thought my computer almost just went to sleep, which would have been bad. It didn't.
Are we still recording?
We're all good. We're all good, man.
I thought I had a heart attack for Jake having a heart attack. But, everything okay?
Yeah, just keep going. We're good. Just make sure all my sprockets are in order.
Okay. But, again, Jake is reconnecting his sprockets for those that can't hear the sprockets.
They're all gidgeted.
Gids, gibbida, and giz widgets and sprockets, and they're all good to go. But we're going to ask some questions, and we're going to kind of open it up here that we've been trying to do this for a bit. And just some thought-provoking questions for one another. Maybe we know the answer, maybe we don't, but you certainly as listeners don't know the answers to these questions.
Or you don't know the questions.
Or you don't know the questions.
Well, eventually both.
So Jake and I are going to go back and forth with some questions that we've been wanting to ask one another, and I think it'll allow us a little bit of a discovery process, a little mutual discovery process to see if we find out some new info about one another, because we've known each other since high school. I think I was a junior or senior.
You were French fries.
I was French fries. If you listen to episode 1, which don't, he talks about meeting me when I dressed up as a pair of fries.
Yep, for Halloween, he was a McDonald's French fries, and his costume wouldn't fit through the door of the bathroom. He had to sidestep in. And that's my first recollection of Todd. But that's it. So do you want to jump right in? You want to go first?
Yeah. Okay, Jake. First question for you I have. If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Yikes. How about I would really dig making a temporary bubble, and it doesn't have to be all encompassing, but I definitely like a bubble in which I could slow or completely stop time.
So outside the bubble or inside the bubble?
Inside the bubble, the time would be slowed or stopped.
Dude, that's really sweet. You could have some really intimate moments.
And if it didn't take up energy, I could make a bubble, play video games for 5 hours, close the bubble, and time wouldn't have passed at all.
Time management.
Which would be great. I could goof around, make some weird noises, practice. I could practice some instruments.
Love practice, yeah.
Close that bubble up, and it'd be like, oh, it's been a minute. This is a throwback to Dragon Ball Z Hyperbolic Time Chamber. I freaking love that. That's one of my favorite parts.
Okay, so you would have a bubble. You would have a
time-slowing bubble.
A time-slowing bubble.
Of course, flying would be sweet.
So do you want to ask me one, or you just want me to
go do another one? I like that.
Okay. Who was your favorite teacher growing up, and why?
Interesting.
Your favorite teacher growing up and why?
You're talking grade school or maybe even collegiate, sort of university stuff?
I was thinking more grade school, at least grade school, maybe early high school, growing up. Okay. When you felt like you were growing up.
I always really dug our history or social studies teachers that we had.
Okay.
I always think that was really cool. We had a couple science teachers as well. First person that really had an impression on me, obviously, music teacher. I was in 4th grade. And up until then, you're learning numbers and stuff, and you're just like, yeah, I'm a kid, I'll learn this stuff because I have to. But then there's this guy who's like, hey, you can be loud, make noise, and have it sound good as well, and you can play an instrument, and you have an excuse to be loud and make a bunch of noises. And I found the trumpet, and it was little and loud, and I guess I was little and loud. So there was a parallel there that I kind of dug. So his name is Mr. George Lepsch. If you're listening, you know who that is if you're in a 10-mile radius. Great guy. Everyone loves George Lepsch.
George Lepsch? What was he? Grade school or is that early high school? 4th grade, you said?
Both. He wasn't the actual teacher. He taught at the high school, but he taught music lessons at the elementary and middle schools, I think.
Okay.
Or elementary, anyway. But anyway, he eventually became the guidance counselor at McKeesport.
Oh, Mr. Lepsch.
Yeah. George
okay.
Lepsch.
Why? Well, when you said George, I was
sorry, we're on that level.
I don't know George.
No, great guy. Just all around positive character.
Okay. Fair. Well, see, that's kind of interesting because my next question was, what age was the first time you picked up a musical instrument? So that's kind of interesting.
My one grandmother had an organ, and I remember being very young, and just when she was sort of not babysitting me, but just I go over there for the day, and my dad's doing stuff around the house. Just remember she would let me just go and kind of play and noodle around on the organ. And I think that noodling and that just not really knowing what I'm doing, but deciding for myself what sounded good and what sounded bad, had an impression on me musically. Just the fact that even as a kid, I could touch a button and make it sound like a professional that touched the same key. I could play the lowest note, I could play the highest note. And I would doodle around and try to make up my own little melodies, whether I knew I was doing it or not. So there was the first time that I remember having fun with that, and I was much younger than 3rd grade. I'll say that, much younger, maybe 1st, 2nd. Okay. So and then trumpet was the first thing that I picked up.
That's really early. I never knew that not that I didn't know that you were interested in music that early, but actually started playing something.
Yeah, it wasn't formal instruction. It's not like I was a little Mozart, but no, I would just noodle around and just kind of make sounds because organs have different sounds.
And then trumpet was your first instrument.
First one that I learned a traditional Western tradition on it.
And you kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the main instrument you play in the Seams, your band, right? You play that more so than the washboard, or...
I'd say that, yeah. The only reason I play the other things is, 1, because trumpet might not fit in every single song, and 2, because when we play for 3.5 hours, my face gets tired, and I need to set it down for a couple
songs. And we know what happens when your face gets tired. It's that bookshelf color. That weird bookshelf color it gets.
Todd has seen me when and
something went wrong.
My internal body parts weren't working in sync.
Facially,
they weren't synced up.
He looked like the color of the bookshelf that was behind him. It was very scary for me because
it was taupe. Would you say Taupe? That color that's just white off white.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, like or is it taupe?
Maybe taupe. Maybe
it can't be taupe. It can't be like looking back. It can't be taupe.
No.
Oh,
in retrospect, it's definitely taupe.
Yeah.
But a weird off white. I'm real tan now. Maybe you wouldn't even see it.
I see it.
I felt that way a little bit last night, so then I just passed out and I felt better.
Yeah.
But anyway, where were we at?
I have 5 questions, so I might as well just get the last 2. And this is on any scale, so it doesn't have to be specifically from. Well, I'll ask it. When was the first time you were heartbroken about something? It could be anything.
That's what I might have to think about. Heartbroken.
Like your first heartbreak.
It's definitely not going to be like.
What was it? And like. You know.
Wow. Yeah, that's a crazy thing, man. I don't know. I'd have to think.
Have you been heartbroken?
I'm lucky enough to say that if I can't think of something off the very top of my head,
it's not
I've had a pretty nice life so far. I can't think of anything so traumatizing.
Well, we could go back to it. Maybe you could think and come back to it.
Yeah.
What is the happiest memory you could remember?
Let that one ride. Give it a pregnant pause.
The happiest.
I don't have
standout moments in either aspect.
No. It's always just been a good ride so far. Yeah, there's times that sucked and there's times that are awesome, but I can't think of anything that I'm just like king of the world. Basically, my happiest moment is when the weather's nice.
When the weather is nice. You heard it here first. Is that your kid podcast? Jake is happiest when the weather
like yesterday
is
was
nice.
A great day, man. It was beautiful. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. Perfect.
So just elevator type talk answer. When the weather is nice, you know? All right. Well, I think we've learned a lot about you in this.
Oh, that's good.
So
I have a couple for you. I'm not sure if they're as deep as yours.
Okay, well, they don't gotta be.
No, that's okay.
So some questions for Todd.
Right off the bat, we'll change it up.
Yeah.
How many hours have you logged into the Xbox
Madden,
360 game Madden 2014?
Oh, I do. I just, when you said logged Xbox, I was like, Madden.
Madden's a football game.
Yeah, Madden.
It's released every year. 2015 will come out in August, probably.
But
he's been playing for about a year. You and Mike Slobodian as well.
My first Madden was probably 2000. Well, my first Madden was Madden 64.
Okay, we'll go there.
My first Madden that I played was Madden 64 for the Xbox. For the Nintendo 64 system. I was playing that, and when I was playing that, I actually then. You know what? That's a lie. My first one was Madden 98 on.
Probably still would have been the 64.
Yes. Wait. Was Madden 60... You know what? No, that was correct. Madden 64 was before Madden 98, I think. Am I wrong?
Madden 64 was probably the first one. And all the sequential ones
so Madden
that
64, the New England Patriots were called the Foxborough Patriots. There was a lot of weird stuff about that. For whatever reason, I don't know if they had the proper rights or what, but a lot of teams weren't... it's like the Patriots, they play in Foxborough, but they're the New England Patriots. But wherever the team played in is where they were billed from, like the Foxborough Patriots. And I just remember thinking, like, man, this sucks. Like, this sucks that they were like that. And I was competitively playing for a few years in some leagues and, like, a community. And that's another thing. I'm a big, like, I post on forums so much, all kinds of forums. When people say check your sites, and I'm not talking, like, Facebook. Like, I'm a guy that has sites that I check, whether it be for music, whether it be for message boards, whether it be anything. Like, I'm always a person that, like, checks on that stuff. And I could sit and post on a message board for hours. I have message board, like, I have 25,000 posts on some, like, even more. Like, it's just something I do because I'm always interested in seeing what's out there. Like you said, kind of like part of a community, even if it's just, like, very unimportant. Like, I like doing stuff. But
yeah, this is cool.
This year's Madden 2014, Mike probably has me beat on hours, I'd say.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because I generally play during the season and a little bit afterwards, and then, you know, I kind of fade away. But right now, I probably play like 2 games a week, but it is not uncommon for me during football season to start up. I've played 8 games a couple different times, 8 games in a row twice in my life. So when football season's around, I probably play 2 games a day. You know, maybe I skip a couple days and then play 4 games that day. So a lot of hours. So if you think an hour a game, you know, I think it's fair in football season to say I play 7-8 hours a week during football season.
Okay, which isn't that's not a lot.
I guess not, but yeah, but there are some times where I'm like on a streak, and I'm just like, let's play another. Going. But I've played 8 games in a row, solid.
Yeah, we do that. I play a lot of video games as well, and there's been times where it's like a seasonal thing. You get into it and you fall out of it. You get into it and you fall out of it. Summer, it's hard to log some hours into a game because there's other things to do. But in Pennsylvania winter, man, when it gets dark at 5 o'clock, you're like, good. Gracious, what am I going to do for the next 5 hours, 7 hours? Play some video games, read some books. I guess I should say, I know this is, I like to read a lot.
Yeah.
Whether it be audiobooks, listening to them, driving in the car, or just reading them. Oh, man, I blew it too.
What?
I love coffee.
Oh, yeah?
And anything that I like to do that I told you earlier, any of those things are made better by coffee.
Anything's better by
Bicycling, have a little bit of coffee before you go. Music, teaching. I drink a cup of coffee on my way to work. I like it. Makes me not more personable. It makes me. It's a better platform to get me to that person that I feel like I am. Music, dude, anything. Playing instruments with coffee, so much fun. Just gives you that boost. Tastes great. I like it. It's my caffeine intake of choice. Would I drink it past 8 o'clock? No. But definitely middle of the day, morning. Oh yeah. That kind of stuff. So, how many hours would you say in the past 14? So 8 hours a week, 52 weeks.
You mean say like how many hours in a week I play Madden, like when I'm hard at it?
Just
I watch a lot of WWE.
First
Network.
Sneeze, Volume 2.
First Sneeze. Episode 21. First on pod sneeze.
We'll call the segment Gazoon Tight. We're getting
Gazoon tight. Gazoon tight.
And the segment only comes around when one of us just accidentally sneezes, which is hopefully every sneeze.
Great segment title.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This might be obvious, but maybe I was thinking maybe it would be different than I thought, or different than what our listeners might think. What is your favorite art form? There's a lot of different art forms.
Oh boy. Jeez.
That's a hard one.
Favorite art form. I mean, I would think it would be photography, honestly. But there's not really one that I don't feel some form of respect for. I don't get them all. I'm not saying I understand them all, but I think there's...
right, and that's it, though.
There's, like, I don't, you know...
That's it.
Photography.
That's what's good.
Yeah.
Whether it's your bag or not, if it's good, it's still good. Mm-hmm. So, I think you said it earlier, but the other part 2 of that question is, when did you realize that photography might have been your favorite art form?
Yeah, probably 8th grade. I'd say 8th grade, and this kind of, before that, in past episodes, I think episode 6 and also episode 18 of the podcast, you could download those on iTunes. I used to want to write. I used to want to write a lot, and I would make these weird, quirky stories that were, like, horror mashed up with just, like, being an idiot, like a bunch of that all combined. And I wanted to write, and I did go to Catholic school, and they said that, like, I had a teacher one time that, like, ripped up all my stories, and she was like, well, the ones that she had, and because she found me that I was writing in class all the time, and she said that they were just garbage and there's nothing to them. I had bad grammar, and that she said they were, like, dark. And generally speaking, like, you heard some of my stories, like, were they all, I mean, yeah, they had, like, some murder in it, but it wasn't like a plot, you know, like to kill anyone.
There's nothing sinister.
No, I didn't have a sinister thought or anything. But
in that scene though, they lean towards overprotectiveness.
Yeah.
So I could see why they might have gotten weird.
So they were just like, no, and she tore them up.
Well, that sucks because if
I never
someone
wanted
would
to
have
write
supported
again.
you, if someone would have supported you in a better way,
no support.
You could have dug it more.
No support there.
You just got snubbed.
So yeah, so then I was just like photography. You know, and I think
you can still tell a story with that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You could tell a story with art in general. You know, through music, through art, through expression, anything. You know. So yeah, that was 8th grade probably.
Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Earlier on, I think as I've grown older, my tastes have matured. Yeah. Of course. Earlier on, of the original 150, I've always liked Charmeleon.
Cool. I think okay. That rings a bell.
And the reason why I like Charmeleon, because, like, everyone liked Charmander. Everybody liked Charizard. And I was just like, you know what? You gotta show love for the middle class sometimes. Right. And I really took to Charmeleon because I felt like he was the underdog of that sort of...
Great attack power on him, though.
Great. And guess what? Think about it. Close your eyes. What color was he? And what color was Charmander and Charizard? He was red, and the other ones weren't.
He's kind of like orange, right? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, he was a different color. Yeah. He was a different color.
So Charmeleon, excuse me. That's pretty cool.
And, like, as I got older, like, psychic Pokemon.
That's cool.
Psychic Pokemon.
I always see middle guy. I always liked Kadabra, not Abra or Alakazam. Kadabra, the guy in the middle. 1 spoon. Real ballers don't need 2 spoons. They just need 1.
And he had that little beard thing going.
But it wasn't too beardy.
No,
Alakazam's too long.
Mm-hmm. And his body was real weird, Alakazam. It was like really...
Yeah, Kadabra was
scrawny.
Freaking sick. Mm-hmm. My favorite Pokemon, you didn't ask, but...
Kabutops or Scyther.
You got it. Scyther. In the original 150. And as I matured and my taste got a little better, still Scyther.
Still Scyther. Okay.
No, but anything with blades for hands.
Any in general.
Because, like, if you're going to fight something and fight them to, quote-unquote, fainting, why would you have anything other than blades? Why not have blades? No one dies in Pokemon, so just blade them up.
Just Blaze being Blaze.
Just Blaze being Blaze. That's a Party Down reference.
No, that's
it's a Burning Love.
Burning
reference.
Love. For
Same guy though.
the 100 people that saw Burning Love, Jake and I really took to that.
I binge watched all 3 of those seasons in a week. I feel.
Dude,
that was good.
So killer.
Good stuff.
So killer.
But so I think that'll wrap it up. I think we're good.
Okay. So
hopefully
I hope you know us a little better than we know ourselves.
And hopefully now that you know
And
us
I'm feeling
a
good,
little
man.
better.
I feel like we've already done like 40 minutes of this, and I feel like let's just keep going.
Still like us, please.
We have so much planned. That's only the iceberg. So when the Titanic hit that and they realized there was more ice underneath, that's what that was. We just hit the iceberg.
There you go.
And we are going to take the rest of the episode to sink. So sink down with us.
Actually, they probably have to get out of the car because maybe they're going to work, so they have to hit pause for a bit. But when you come back,
hit pause.
We'll see you. We'll be here when you get back from work.
And we love you, so come back after work. Please come back after work.
Don't Trey, come back.
Don't Trey. It's about the journey. But we actually have a Volume 2. Sponsor for all of Volume 2 is Tito's Vodka. Now, Tito's was nice enough to send us some t-shirts, some sunglasses, some beer koozies as well. I talked to them on Twitter. Best vodka around, really, generally speaking. But Tito's Handmade Vodka is produced in Austin, Texas, and it's produced in its first and oldest legal distillery. So everything's on the up and up. But it's made in small batches in an old-fashioned pot still and distilled 6 times.
6 times, never 7.
Never 7. But Tito's vodka made from yellow corn instead of the most commonly used wheat or potatoes. So it is a corn vodka.
Boo, Russian vodka.
So we want American-made vodka, and that's what Tito's brings you. Every time you take it off the shelf, take a sip. And it's actually
buy it first and then take a sip.
Yeah, buy it first. Support the product.
Go home. Don't drive, but go home.
And not only is it the exclusive vodka of Is That Your Kid podcast, but they're also the exclusive brand vodka served on United Airlines flights. So they're getting around. So Tito's Vodka, again, handmade, produced in Austin, Texas. Best vodka in the market, and we welcome this partnership. So if there's anything, if you have any questions about Tito's Vodka, you can hit us up as isthatyourkid at yahoo.com and tweet at Tito's at Tito's Vodka and put us together. So tweet at Tito's Vodka at isthatyourkid and tell us how you drink your Tito's. Whether you mix it with some Sprite or you drink it right out of the bottle.
Put some milk in there.
Put some milk in there. Put some Arugula in there.
Arugula? Arugula? Arugula?
Put some Arugula in there.
You making Tito's mojitos.
Put some Radish in there.
It's the wrong alcohol. But
put some Radish. Radish in the Tito's.
You can put some radish.
Radish.
As well. I was just these are my brand new sunglasses, Tito's sunglasses. This is the bag. You want to hear me open?
And I believe Marcus, thank you.
Ooh,
Marcus from Tito's, I think you were the one who sent it, but we welcome this partnership and we appreciate it and love your product.
These are nice.
So the exclusive vodka of Is That Your Kid podcast, Tito's Vodka. Hit them up at Tito's Vodka. And also, if you have more questions about the partnership, isthatyourkid at yahoo.com. We will help you out.
Very cool. I'm excited about that.
We got some great shirts, too.
We did get shirts.
So, yeah, just let us know.
Koozies.
At Tito's Vodka. At Is That Your Kid. Tell us how you drink your Tito's. Handmade, produced in Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jake, I think that would be the first half of the episode. How are you feeling so far?
Pop.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling good.
Now, coming hot off the presses, you may know us from Volume 1, where we had such segments as Father of the Week. We talk about the best Father of the Week in the past. We have some weird segment intros. Jay Zerm's Concerns, where Jake just sounds off on a concern of his.
Real quick one. My glasses are all smudged up, and I'm real upset about it.
And we also do Is That Your Ghost? Haunted Towns. We talk about haunted towns. We read Goosebump books as well. But starting out here in Volume 2, we have 2 segments that we're very proud of. And Jake and I actually thought of this segment when we were floating around in his pool. Literally,
I forgot about that.
We just kind of brainstormed this idea because, as I mentioned before, I've never really played an instrument, and it's something that all my friends always wanted to do, and there's something about me they've always wanted to change and manipulate. So it's time to let them have it. But I'm actually going to learn how to play the ukulele. Now, it might take 6 weeks, or it might take 20 weeks. But I think Jake has a intro.
We're going to give you a live lesson.
A live lesson on what we like to call Ukes and Zucs. Ukes and Zucs.
Ukes and Zucs.
So this is actually, I'm picking up a ukulele on my end.
We have 2 matching Mahalo ukuleles. They're bottom of the line. I use these in my classroom, so I teach these to my 6th graders. So Todd, hopefully you're better than them.
So the good uke is Jake. The bad uke would be me. So this would be what mine sounds like. And mine actually has a doctor's stethoscope attached to the top of it, which
is a tuner.
A tuner, as they musicians say, that it has a bunch of numbers and letters that change. I'm not sure how to turn it on. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Okay, well, let's start it out.
Okay.
I want you to pluck this top string right up top and see what that stethoscope says.
It says G and sometimes B.
G. So, that note is G. How about you pluck the next one down only?
Okay.
Just hit this. There it is. Just one. What does that one say?
C?
C, exactly.
C. Okay.
Then so the third one?
So the first one is G. Second one is C.
Yeah.
The third one is E.
E. Right.
And I guess the fourth is A.
All right.
So let me write that down so I don't forget.
Oh, he's taking notes. Everyone.
Yeah. A G and then
C.
C and then
E.
No.
G C E.
G C E
A.
and A. Okay. So I got G C E A.
That's it. Those are the open strings without touching the fretboard at all. This you'd call this the neck, where you place your hands, and the place where you put your fingers would be called the fretboard or the frets.
I've heard all that. Yeah before.
So what we're gonna want to do is, number one, figure out where to strum. So you kind of want to hold it at a kind of, what is it, like 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock to 11. Kind of hold that. Let it rest. You don't want it sideways. You want it straight down. Okay. And you could take your first finger or your thumb.
Okay.
Strum it right where the neck meets the body. Just give it an open strum without touching any of the strings up here.
Like this?
There it is. You could use your fingernail. You could use your thumb. Now, these are all open strings. We haven't touched anything yet. So what we're going to need to do is, that's just the open strings ringing. So it's not quite a chord yet. It's almost. So what we want to do on the A string, which is the last one down, we want to count 1, 2, 3. 3 frets and put our finger in the middle.
1, 2, 3.
And push the string down. Now strum the whole thing. There we go. And there's our first major chord. There we go.
And what is that called?
That's called a C major chord.
C major. Ladies and gentlemen, the first chord I've ever played is called a C major, and it's when you hold the A down.
Oh, down 1. Down 1.
Nah, that's 3. Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry.
Nice. And what you want, you got it. You want to do a pinching motion from the back, just like you're doing. You don't want it to be up here or up here.
Yeah, I've seen people play, so I know, like...
He's got the idea.
I've seen people do it.
Alright. So, what you want to do is basically just get comfortable doing that. He seems very comfortable doing that. Todd is learning the ukulele. He can play one chord, just one chord. It's called C major.
See, what you do, folks, for all those who don't play music, what you do, you use your fingers on the fretboard and you hold down the strings at different parts. It makes a different noise. So, like, here's this noise for you. It's called C major by Todd.
That's a great one, man. pretty good.
Yeah, you
Not
like
bad.
that? So I learned this whole instrument, right?
Yep, you got it. There's no other notes you need. That's the only one.
So, the first episode of Ukes and Zucs, I played C major. And for those of you who are proud of me, write into isthatyourkid@yahoo.com.
That's it.
Perfect.
You wanna leave it at that?
No, let's keep going.
Okay, let's
keep
throw
going.
in a second chord. It still just uses 2 fingers this time.
Okay.
So, you want to take your middle finger
Middle.
of your fretting hand.
Yeah.
Your middle finger.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to release what we did before. So you want to take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the G string up top.
So here.
Of the G, the top one.
So up here.
Yep. Then you want to take your pointer finger and put it on the 1st of the 3rd string. So E.
So the E
first
string.
fret
So my middle finger's on G. My
2nd fret E. Yeah, 2nd fret G. There it is. And they're $30 ukes, so maybe the quality isn't perfect, but you get the idea.
So to switch between this, like, oh man, how do you guys switch that quick?
Muscle memory. There it is. He's switching between an F chord right now. That's his F. And a C. Yeah, now let me give you a trick. Let me give you a tip. If you use, Todd, if you use your ring finger, the 3rd to play the C, then your other fingers are free to switch. So
sick.
then you
So I can just play and then release on that one. So, again, my middle finger is on this, right? Like
Yep.
that. And then this one's here.
But pick up the other. Pick up your ring.
Like
yeah,
that.
there you go. Just leave it handy so you can switch back to it fast.
Okay.
Quickly, I should say.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
And that goes on that one, so. Oh, shit.
Ukes and Zucs.
Ukes and Zucs, episode
Episode
21. Today, see, this guy needs to go here, but he doesn't know that yet.
Audio stuff for your ears.
Audio stuff for you. This is going swimmingly bad, but in the same sense, very good.
Well, to play an instrument, you can't be afraid to suck.
Oh, I'm not afraid to suck at all.
That's why you're doing well.
I'm a sucker. Boy, I'll suck anything up. That will not be the clip after.
Well, just a little background. Ukuleles hail from the Polynesian islands.
Polynesian baby.
What they've basically done is taken the 2 lowest strings off a guitar.
The stethoscope said I did very well at the top.
It did not say good job, Todd.
Well, it said that I was playing that chord, though.
Okay, good. Well, what they've done is they've taken a guitar and clipped the 2 lowest strings. And to reverse that now with the 4 remaining strings, with that G, they took it up the octave, which just basically means it's higher. So it gives it a nice lilting, fun sound. You can't play anything and make it sound bad.
So what's
nice
the
job.
Zucs part of this?
Don't
Skip
don't
it.
worry about it.
Okay, skip it.
Yeah.
The Ukes part, I learned the G, C, and E string. That's
G, C, E, A, right?
What did I say? I
G,
forget
C,
A.
E.
Okay, so the G, C, and E string, all 4 of those. I've learned the C major.
And A. Yeah. C major chord.
Chord. And what was the other chord?
F major.
F major.
And those are both chords. And what a chord is? More than one note played at the same time.
Okay. So G, C, E, A, the four strings. And then I played a C major and an F major.
That's it. And that's
week 1.
2/3 of a lot of songs, believe it or not.
Nice.
So you need one more, and next week, Todd, you're going to have to use 3 fingers for a chord. 3 whole fingers.
Ooh. Okay, I'll use as many fingers as I need.
Ooh. And that's always been Todd's motto.
Want another? Sure. Right?
Yeah. So that wraps up episode 1 of Ukes and Zucs.
Nice. And speaking of ukulele, we're going to New York, August 13th through 16th, where you want to be a part of the ukulele army if we could if that could happen.
I'd be okay with that. What do you think a good song would be?
I don't know. They're probably all into like 90s alternative music covering because that's like their thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
So like,
I was actually thinking like Jack White.
They probably, I don't know.
Dig it.
I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's just that, and then they play some like modern like hip hop, but then they like banjo or whatever it out. But we will be in New York, August 13th through 16th. Hang out with some people. My boy Paul up there has been hooking us up, bro.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you. We've got some plans.
Do
you want me to tell you?
Did you say planes?
Plans.
Oh, planes would be cool, but plans are good.
We're not seeing a single plane.
Planes.
But on Friday night, we're going to be hanging out at the UCB Theater in New York, seeing Stepfathers improv team.
Nice.
I already bought your ticket, by the way.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Yeah, Paul will be joining us on Thursday. This is something we need to buy tickets for. Chris, friend of mine, Chris Gethard, comedian. He's playing in Brooklyn. He's doing stand-up there on Thursday night. That's going to be $10.
And we're booked. We're booked solid.
Wednesday night, we're going to be hanging out at the MNN Studios as well. Probably hang out with like Jamie, Rob Spencer, bunch of people, but they're excited to be on our podcast. So people in New York, we are excited to see you and excited what you could bring to our podcast. And I'm going to be handing out business cards up there like an MFer. Like if you've seen MFers, this is the biggest MFer handing out a business card in New York. So we're going up there on a mega bus. If you want to track our trip, is thatyourkid.tumblr.com, because I've posted all our times and everything like that. So we're quite excited for that going forward. New York City, 13th through 16th. Check out Is That Your Kid podcast. Another segment that we want to introduce, for those new to her, she's been listening since episode 3 or 4, emailing in. Her name is Lulu. She's from California. She's done stuff from Coachella. Emailed in a bunch as well. She was my co-host for episode 18, which you could download on iTunes as well. And she actually is our West Coast time-traveling reporter. She goes into... we take her audio from the past, bring it to the present, and then she time warps back. And coming up soon, we also found out on episode 18 that she was attempting to stop smoking cigarettes because... a little one was being born in the family, and she doesn't want to smoke around the little one.
Which is very noble. Good.
Which is very noble of her. And with that said, too, so she has what we like to call smoking thoughts.
So the idea behind it is she's smoking one of her last cigarettes.
Yes.
And saying what's on her mind.
And we actually got 2 smoking thoughts to start out week 1. One, though, is a Tumblr exclusive, and what seems to be very hot. We're talking XXX version of a thought.
Yeah.
You can check that out. isthatyourkid.tumblr.com for that Tumblr exclusive. We bring to you Lulu's Smoking Thoughts.
Thought of the day, coming live from your time quester. So I got home and had a drink, I'll admit, but then I was like, man, I gotta work out, like gotta do something to keep this fine ass figure in shape. So I started working out, and then I was like, fuck, I'm just tired of wearing a bra. Like, for girls, I don't think guys can really understand this, but after about 5 hours in a bra, it becomes a prison. There's a reason why a new girl, Zoe Deschanel, is like, I don't have to send my boobs to boob prison. Because it sucks. It really sucks. I mean, it's good for you. Definitely keeps them perky for longer, but it sucks. There's nothing better than getting home, taking off your bra, and just feeling fucking comfy for once in the day. So I took off my bra, and I took off my shirt, started working out, and I was like, oh my god, this is what dudes must feel like at the gym. And then I was like, wait a second, do dudes actually feel this way? Or is it like, I take off my shirt, this is my chest, this is my elbow, they're as sexy, Or like women in Europe who walk around on beaches without their bikini tops, or you know, like, or perhaps more apt would be like women in Africa who never wear a top, and they're like, these are my tatas, the giver of life. They are just like my belly button. And I was just like, I wonder like what it feels like for a guy to work at a gym without his shirt on. And like what that must feel like. I also wondered what it would happen if I actually walked into a gym without my top or bra on and started working out. But that doesn't seem like it's a worthy pursuit. Anyway, those are my smoking thoughts of the day. Having a cigarette over that, one of my last. We are T-minus really close to quitting time. Anyway, love you guys. I'm out.
All right, so first smoking thought. So ladies out there, go braless. Be a little more free, is I think what she's trying to say.
In a responsible amount of time. Don't worry about it so much. Mm-hmm. Be optional. You have that option. On, off. When you're at home, relax.
If you would like to be a part of this podcast in some aspect, we welcome it. This podcast is your podcast. Email at us as isthatyourkid@yahoo.com. Any ideas for us going forward, we welcome it. So be a part of it.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of you during Volume 1 spoke up, and we've met a couple of you.
Absolutely.
And it makes me feel really good. It's just like, hey, you know, we kind of do this, you dig it, and then we can hang out. I'll hang out with anybody.
Yeah. Send us something you think is going to make us laugh. We're probably going to put it on.
Something in Volume 1 that we never really honestly got off the ground that I was really hoping to. We want to celebrate Pittsburgh rock in any way, any sort of music out of Pittsburgh, really, not just rock.
Yeah.
But we want to support our local scene and local bands here.
Good
So
scene.
if it is. And so if you want to be on our podcast, we actually are going to have bands featured every week. This week, we want to have on actually Casino Bulldogs, who Jake and I saw last night.
That we did.
And I've seen them probably 3 or 4 times. Their new album is actually up on their website now. It came out July 1st. It's called Stun Gun, and you could stream it for free. Shoe Fly. And the reason why I picked Shoe Fly, it's off the new album Stun Gun, because our friends Mike and Sleazy E from the band Velcro Shoes, they love that song. So not only do I dedicate that song to them, but also our new listeners. And this is Casino Bulldogs out of Pittsburgh, PA, Shoe Fly. And we're back again. That was the Casino Bulldogs with Shoe Fly. You could check them out at www.casinobulldogs.com. But I think in 2014, I don't need to say the www.
No, but
http://www.casinobulldogs.com.
And congratulations to them on a successful CD release. Nice job, guys.
We both got one of their albums last night.
Very cool.
So, again, if you want your band featured on this podcast, we'd love to have you out of Pittsburgh. We actually have 2 to 3 bands lined up for the incoming weeks.
So there is a queue, so get on it.
There is a queue
officially.
There's
a line, folks.
So I want to commit to this a little harder than we did last time. We want to have a band per week. But, so this has really been episode 21 of Is That Your Kid podcast. Pleasure to be back with you. Again, I'm Todd. That's Jake. And traditionally, Jake sent the episode out of Volume 1. So, back with Jake here. Thoughts, concerns, anything going forward, my man Jake is going to send this one out.
Casino Bulldogs, Velcro shoes, Patton, nice show last night. My glasses are still smudgy. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to get that cleaned off in a big way. But thanks for listening. Lulu, thanks for submitting. And thanks for listening.
See you next week, everybody. Love ya.
Pardon me, I think I'm part dog. Oh, I like dogs.
You're part... You just skipped over part dog. I'm part dog. I like dogs. I'm part dog.
Well, I like Frisbee so much,
dog?
I like running and chasing it just as much as I like throwing it.